Hello everybody and welcome to my 15th Advanced Excel tutorial, and this tutorial is going to show you how to use array formulas to sum up values. So essentially what we're going to do here is we're going to show you how many sales there are in each city and in each month. So this is very similar to how you would do a count. The only thing you have to do is just make sure you multiply the array afterwards by the sales. So let's put in our array formula for if we were counting. So equals sum, open bracket again, and then A2 to A14, add our dollar sign so that when we drag it across it stays the same, equals, and then we want it to equal the month, and we want it to always be row 2 because even when we drag it down, close bracket. And then same as with count, you have times for if you want to do an and, or a plus if you want to do an or. And then our second criteria, which is the B column, city column, and that needs to equal the city. And we always want the E to stay the same because it's always in column E. And close that off. So that's how we do a count. But then we want this to be a sum. So it's quite simple. All you do is add another times on there. Always a times, never a plus. And then just put the array of where you're actually wanting to sum up. So I wanted to sum up sales. So I put that in there and then close that off. Control Shift and Enter. And then that has done it. So this is going to sum up for you all the values that have and I haven't put my dollar signs in properly, so I'll fix that in a second. But if I just explain this one, it's going to, for all of the months when they equal January, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to look at just those 5, and then when it also equals London, so it's only going to look at these 3, and it's going to add those together. So we've got 250 plus 150, which is 400, and then another 100, which is 500. And then the other thing is just remember to put your dollar signs in. And Control Shift and Enter to finish the array formula. And then when we drag this across, it's adding it up nicely. And same as before, you can use as many criteria as you want. So we could put in another criteria, so it would be equals London or New Delhi or New York. The other thing you can do is you can put in a doesn't equal, and so this is basically saying for each month how many sales were there that weren't in London, how many that weren't in New York, how many that weren't in New Delhi, which I guess is essentially just is summing up the ones for non-London as such. So that's quite a useful one if you want to just sum up without having one criteria. So you want to have, say, the second half of the year or something like that. And then that is it for array formulas. You might have a lot of questions because they are quite complicated. I myself have to use a reference book most of the time when I use them because they are quite hard to remember. But as long as you remember the basics of each criteria goes in a bracket, you have your array, and then what it equals or what it doesn't equal, and then each of your brackets is separated by a times for and a plus for or, And then if you want to do a sum, then you just times it at the end by the array within which you contain the numbers that you want to sum. So that's it. Thank you for listening, and I hope to catch you in my next tutorials, which will be around how to use Microsoft Access. So thanks for listening, and if you enjoyed these tutorials, please subscribe.